hours at the whatever this shit is. It's not a job, but it's kind of like a job. And you could give me the blow part of what I do. Get it? Cause you know what the fuck. Whatever they say about me, I'ma go hard, I'ma go full throttle. Whatever you want to be, paid off quick. Esco Pablo, I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Welcome to the KYP podcast. My name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host
KYP James.
Kevin G.
And this is another mini episode with
Maky Lavender.
So Maky, I know you reached out to us because you discovered us through Baha'i, if I remember correctly. And Kevin had a chance to talk a lot to you, James too. I was focused on a lot of the technical aspect. So I wanted to use this mini episode at first to know more about you, your music, where you started. And we're going to start straight away. Can you explain to us what you do, what kind of music you make?
I'm all over the place. I rapped at first and also made beats. And after making beats, I started to perform. So then I play with musicians. And then I needed to make a structure around myself. So I started becoming a business. So I made clothes, I made shirts, hats. This is a hat I made, but a lot of the stuff I made is not even out yet. Some of it was. So some friends bought some shirts for me, met up with me, and I sold it out of my truck. But yeah, that's that. I'm self-made.
Self-made, yeah.
Yeah, self-made artist, to say that. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Okay. How long have you started how long has it been since you started making music?
A long time. Since I was in high school. So it was probably since I was 14. So I think I'm on my 14th year now. Yeah.
14 years.
Yeah.
Does music run in the family? How did you get interested in making music or rapping?
It's from dance, and I was doing shows at the end of the school year, and after all that stuff, eventually I wanted to just try different instruments. So the closest I got to that was I got Rock Band on my PlayStation 3. And then when I got Rock Band, I had the whole thing. I had the guitar and the drums. So then I started playing drums a little bit on there. And then I even got a guitar because of that. And I used the mic that I got from the set from recording, and I recorded on my laptop at home from that.
What was your favorite instrument to play on Rock Band?
The drums.
Drums?
Yeah, I love the drums.
Making the beats.
Yeah, it was so sick. It's just so loud. Nobody wants you to do that at home at 11 p.m. But it was really fun.
Because I had I had Guitar Hero because I had a PlayStation and a Wii. So they didn't have Rock Band. I think Rock Band was just an Xbox exclusive. And I would try to sing because they had the mic too. And you know how the bar goes, and I'd try to sing and the bar says here and I'd be like here or here. I'd completely miss the mark. But I wanted to know your transition from dance to singing, right? You went through Rock Band, you learned. What was the first type of music you started making when you started recording on your computer?
Rap,
yeah, straight to rap.
Yep, absolutely. Because I wrote verses. The first time I wrote a verse, I was probably 8 years old, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just wrote something, and then really didn't know how you have to write a verse and then recite it to a beat that you hear. I didn't really think about that at first. So the only time I did that is there's a little bit more to that story, because when I recorded on my computer with the Rock Band mic, it was terrible. It sounded really bad. And right away I knew I needed something better. So then I got my first job when I was 14, and I bought myself some equipment, and one of the mics that I got, I still have to this day, and I still record with it. So it was also becoming an engineer as well at the same time.
We heard a little bit of one of your songs in the intro. From that one song, your music sounds very chilled out. There's a lot of metaphors in your lyrics. I was curious, could you describe your style of rap or music a little bit to us?
Yeah, I think I make music about life. I'm fairly relatable. I never wanted to make stuff that was just too about the flashiness. If I'm talking about the flashiness, I'm explaining how it's becoming overwhelming and how it's new in my life. But most of my music was about being a regular dude, stuff that happened at school, stuff that happened at work, relationships, stuff like that. So that's definitely my type of lyrics.
So which artists kind of influence your music? Because if you listen to the mainstream, it's all just, I got 8 Raris, BBLs all over. And your music is very not that. So I'm curious, what kind of artists inspired you?
Mac Miller at the time, heavily. That's definitely what made me like talk about school, and definitely Wiz Khalifa that era, and Big Sean back then, and like
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler for sure. Tyler the Creator was definitely a big influence on my music. Like some of the artists that I used to like either like fade away or just stop making music. Like I even have a hard time remembering their names.
Charles Hamilton,
Yeah.
Asher Roth,
Wow.
Kid Cudi.
Let's go, yo.
That was that era. So you're 28. We're all 28 here. So I'm pretty sure we've listened to the same artists. I was really into rap as well. Mac Miller, Kid Cudi.
Yeah, Kid Cudi. Yeah. I like the first 2 albums. Of
course, yeah.
Quickly I didn't like Kid Cudi's music that much anymore, but I did like it back in the day.
Yeah,
see? Yeah, we agree.
Sorry?
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah. I mean, they were the new sound, like for our generation, and they've definitely influenced today's sound, with people like Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know who else is big now, but I know, Kanye West, he just went down.
True.
We're getting old. I feel when I listen to music now, it's like, wow, the artists we used to listen to as kids they're like old now.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to We Don't Care by Kanye in the car today, and I realized how far we've come. Like
that's it.
He's talking about like, it was super difficult, but we made it through. We don't care what people say. And now, like, the stuff he's talking about, like, beautiful big titty women don't fall out the sky anymore. I was like, wow. Like, I've been, like, protecting Kanye for years, but I can't help it with that.
It's getting harder and harder.
It's getting harder, yeah.
Yeah, he's not helping me help him. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to what you mentioned about your music, right? You make rap, and I wanted to know more in detail, like your motivation behind making your music. Is it more a way for you to express what you're feeling right now? Is it a diary? Is it some shape or form of an outlet for you?
yeah. Now it's so different. Like when I first started, let me start by when I first started. When I first started, it was definitely like almost therapy. Like I was talking about some stuff that I would never really tell anybody, but I was just rapping it on the mic. It was crazy. I don't even know how I was able to do that. Some of the stuff I said was so personal on songs, and that was my way. And now really it's like a way to protect myself almost, because I talk about certain emotions that are just like hard and difficult, but I act like I don't care, and that's my way of making my music now is that. Like I talk about some stuff that is definitely bothering me, but I get to do it in a way to like act like the superhero. Like recently I made this song. It's not out yet, but it's a verse I wrote. It's about the verse is about if this was a verse. So I'm like, if this was a verse, I was never hurt. I would make you work. Happiness as a dessert. Like just talking about how if I was writing a verse, everything would be great. But, so now that's really what it's become. Like I make music to make myself feel like what I'm writing. So.
And I want to know also your opinion now that we're talking about the vulnerability in like music and writing in general. Do you feel like a lot of rappers these days have a hard time being vulnerable and expressing what they want in music, because everything's like, yeah, my life's going to shit, but I don't give a shit about all my haters.
Yeah.
But for you, I feel like it's more saying like, hey, I'm human too, and I'm going through the same stuff as you guys. I wanted to know more your thoughts on rappers these days. Why is it so hard for most people, especially in the rap scene? Because you listen R&B, everyone's pouring their heart out. You listen to ballads, everyone's pouring their heart out. Even rock, a lot of people, rock and countries are pouring their heart out. But rap is just always money and bitches, and I don't care about what you're doing. Why is it that rap, is it so hard to like pour your feelings out?
I think it's the aspect of pretending to be a superhero. Like rap, even something that's that 50 Cent mentioned is like people like broken goods, but they still want that broken good to act like it's bigger than life. Like when you think about Superman, he's like definitely a broken good, or like Batman, like all these superheroes or people are super hurt. And I think rap really shows that, because it's like it's still also a rebellious genre, and rebellion often comes from like a place of pain. So it's a place of pain that's just masked with like, you know, macho-ness too. But now really I find that what's changing as well is that like, since there's a lot of like girls rapping, and the girls that are rapping are doing exactly what the men do, and now it's making it seem like, oh fuck, like the man stuff is not that cool anymore. You know, you got the prettiest girls, the hottest girls just talking that shit. So it's showing that like it's just a facade. Like everybody wants to be tough, be like a superhero that has no pain, that have no fear. And I think that's what rap is. I think that's why. You know, they want to put the best version of themselves out. And it's like an Instagram, but like through music, you know?
Yeah, like putting your best foot forward, not showing any vulnerabilities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
Do you find it difficult trying to balance kind of the type of music that gets viral, that gets popular, versus staying true to your sound? Do you ever sit down like, oh, I could probably make, you know, this type of beat or this type of music is on trend right now, but it's really different from what I actually want to make? Do you ever have to kind of make trade-offs or make decisions based around that?
Yeah, and it's like I've learned to embrace it. It's from something Lil Wayne said. Lil Wayne was talking about, because he was asked, how do you survive all the different like eras of music? And he's like, you have to learn to love the new stuff. When there's a new thing that's coming out and the kids just love it, you have to figure out why. And yeah, so I get into that zone, but then like, because I've heard Lil Wayne say that a long time ago, so I'm blessed. We're blessed that Lil Wayne exists. But because he said that a long time ago, I've always kept that in mind, that I have to figure out why the kids love this new stuff. You know, the like Cash Cobain, or like, you know, even the NBA Young Boy, which is wild because he's young, but he's old at this point because he's been around for years. But like, yeah, all the newest genre, like, or the newest type of music, I get into it. Like, you know, I did a song that was like a Jersey type beat, and then the Jersey stuff became more popular in the recent years, but I was happy that I got onto it. Like, I've never done a drill song, but you know, I was listening to drill, you know? So it's like, you have to learn to love the new stuff because people out there love it, you know? So yeah.
Now that you mention also like trying new beats and trying new styles, I feel being in the music scene for 14 years, you kind of hit a peak where you feel comfortable with a sound and you keep making that sound. You say, I reached a peak of what I am able to do. How do you find that motivation or that curiosity to try something new and maybe experiment?
Yo, lit. You have to love music. I love music. Sometimes I hear something, I don't even know why I love it, and it's just automatic. So I'm happy. This is like a blessing. You're making me realize how much of a blessing it is to love like art. Because you get to appreciate and just trying to get into the zone of why did that person make that? Like, why is it fun? It comes from within, you know. That's it. Right.
Yeah, like I can't remember who said it, but I heard it somewhere that in everything that you do, you always want to have that curiosity that you had as a kid. You always want to touch everything. You want to like break stuff, figure out what things are done. And I think as a photographer myself, trying to find something beautiful and new things is always the best way to improve yourself as a person.
So since you've had, you know, so much experience in this industry, when you look at the new kids, what do you think is the number one mistake they make as when they're new rappers?
To try to be like super mysterious. I think that's like that doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, just no post. I'm just dropping a song. Nobody knows who I am, you know.
So they only have one post on Instagram,
yeah,
but they're dropping music on Spotify, on all platforms.
Not even a lot. They drop one song every like 6 to 8 months, and then just, you know, yeah. A lot of people do that. Like they drop so rarely.
Why do you think?
Because it's a method from the major labels. From the major labels, what they do is they find an artist that's already like, you know, I guess groomed,
established.
Yeah, established. But then they remove everything from that person's page and remove all the music, and then like, okay, we'll drop one song and then make it a TikTok like viral thing, and people be like, oh my god, that came out of nowhere.
Oh, it's
but like those people are already super established. Like if Kanye did that, you know, it would probably work. But if nobody knows your music yet,
But yeah, exactly.
Kind of a tough strategy.
Yeah, but even like, let's say now Kanye's been around 20 some years, so we can't really do that. But I mean, like, an artist that's still fairly new, like Sexy Red, for example. Sexy Red might have had a bunch of music out, but we just didn't know until the hit, you know? The hit came around, and that's when we found out about her. But they, like, the labels, it's a strategy that they do often. Like, there'll be an artist that has a bunch of music out, but then they remove everything and start from scratch. And that's why there'll be like nothing but that one song. But the kids don't know that, you know?
Yeah.
They just think that's how it works.
So yeah, in the K-pop industry, they basically don't release nothing, but they've been training for 10 to 12 years at that company, dancing, singing, rapping, competing with other people before they even get released as a new artist.
Oh, I didn't know they did
So
that.
there's a lot of background work. So I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah, definitely.
So kids be like, oh yeah, they just started like, I don't know, last year, they just became a group. But no, there's like 10 years of work behind every artist that releases in K-pop.
Wow.
You know, actually, I want to get to Jay's point too. A lot of these trainees in K-pop, they go on reality shows and things like that, and people kind of follow their life. And I wanted your opinion on it. It's more like a chicken and egg situation, which came first. Do you think the crowd likes you as a person and then they follow with your music, or do they listen with your music and then learn to love you as a person?
Wow. I wonder, you know, I don't know. Like, I would wish and would love to be loved for my music strictly, but I don't think it ever worked like that in the music industry. But I definitely understand how, like, the crowd, like the masses definitely has to like love your character too, or just be intrigued at least. If they don't love you, they gotta at least want to, you know, look you up or something. Because like, there's so much music in the world. You can just go and Google and type music, something is gonna play it, you know. So no artists are not very rare. So I don't think people care really.
I want to ask you about the performance aspect of your music. You know, in terms of your favorite part about what you do, is it making the music, writing the lyrics, being in the studio, or actually performing in front of crowds?
I like performing. But I like living what led to the song, and then after that performing it. Like, there's a song I have called Air Transat Freestyle, and it's like about writing this verse while I was on the plane, just thinking everything was gonna work out. So then, but it's inspired by like Montreal in the summer and the Jazz Fest. So every time I'm performing in Montreal, it just feels so good. I'm like, let's go, we're back home. Like, it really, yeah, it's like living the life that led to the song and then performing it. That's I love it. I love the whole thing.
Is that your favorite song to perform right now?
Yeah, because I could perform it everywhere, and it's a rap song. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I asked this question to a previous artist that we had in Toronto, but let's say hypothetically you could only do one thing, either songwriting, producing, rapping, maybe singing, performing. If you had to do one thing only for the rest of your life, which one would that be?
Performing.
Yeah,
I'd tour like nonstop. I'll just be doing shows. Yeah. I would like practice. Like, I would love to do that. Have a dance studio, practice with like dancers, and then after just do shows and just focus on nothing else. I would love that.
Okay.
It was easy for me to pick.
Yeah, no. I feel like a lot of people, they realize that, certain people who focus more on songwriting, like we had Tamara, I think she said that she would rather just write songs for the rest of her life because it's her way of expressing her feeling. But I feel a lot of people who perform a lot, they feel that energy back, and they're like, doesn't matter if I'm just jumping on like 808s and with no lyrics, like as long as I'm in front of a crowd and I feel the energy, I could do that for the rest of my life. And I feel like you're probably the same. Like, you feed off of the crowd, of the energy, the energy of the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. I performed in Toronto. It was great because Toronto crowds are just the worst. Like,
like shots fired.
No, Toronto crowds, like, they're so mean. Like, if you're not really putting on the show, people will turn around and start speaking to each other. Like, I've seen it happen.
Wow.
Yo, so like, I had a fun time performing there because like people kind of were stopping. Like, they were like, oh shit, something is going on over there. And I felt like I made it. I was like, wow, if Toronto crowd stops and just gives me the time of day, it means I'm doing something good. So
That's a good benchmark.
Yeah. Toronto, doing a show in Toronto will change your life, you know?
What do you think? What do you think, Kev?
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah. And it's not just for concerts. It's like if you just go out on a weekend out at the nightclubs, you can tell like everybody's really trying to posture, and it's
All about bottle service,
image, the guys get a bunch of bottles and just post up with their mean mugs and stuff. But in Montreal, it's very different. Like
everyone's trying to vibe.
everybody's trying to dance. Everybody's trying to have fun. I know we're running out of time here, Danny, but I wanted to throw an idea out.
Yeah.
You mentioned your song Air Transit. What do you think of if we play a little bit of that song and have Maky talk to us about it?
I'm down. I love that song.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's play it. So I have it right here.
I bloom too much, I've been a flower for a minute. This rap be Maky maniac, the rap be my incentive. Best around the city, boy, I should run the Senate. Got too many jobs, I paper chase, I try to get it. She bothers me too much, I'm in the rough, don't wanna let it. The chips are in my hand, I got it covered, trying to bet it. Wish I was a prison, all the bitches in my celly. Dirty, big, ugly, fuck.
Yeah, like what's well, I know you said you were singing about
You were on a plane.
you were on a plane.
Yeah. I was on a plane because I used to be a hype man for Zach Zoya. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and then they like, I just got off work, and then because they were already over there, but they had paid, like his label had paid for me to fly over there to just do that. And like Rami B from Planet Giza had sent me that beat, and I was on the plane and I was like just dreaming. I was working on my album and I knew my album was gonna be good, so I was like, yo, this is great. And I was just talking about the real stuff, like how much confidence I had, and also how much like I tried different things, like there would be like a girl I like in my life, but she's just bothering me, and I don't want to let that shit bother me. And then talk about how like, like I work, and it was great. Also, it's cool because around that time, the tone of my voice was so different because I was just younger and I was just full of life. And
You
I just
sounded like a Fresh Prince.
Yo,
Yeah,
it was
like
that
a young Will Smith,
definitely
Yeah, it had
that was the vibe. Yo, it's true. It's about talking about the city too, and like it's it's like on a flight, and when you're a young rapper from your city, you just never expect that you'll be flown out for music ever.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's like the dream, right?
Yup.
Yeah, when a company pays you to fly somewhere for a show. Yeah.
It was I felt a way, yo. It was like also it's a super jazzy, so it reminds me of like the Jazz Fest in the summer in Montreal.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you're mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that.
So I think it's time to wrap up for the show. I wanted to ask you one last question before we end the show. Looking back at the first 14 years of when you perform music, there's probably a lot of things that you didn't really agree with the music industry. You probably didn't agree with creating music as a career. I want to know that what is something you didn't believe in 14 years ago that you do now that you rap?
Sick. That's a good question. Shit. I never thought it could work 14 years ago. Like I was like, this shit has no like chance of working. Like especially being from Montreal, like and just staying real to yourself. I never believed it could ever like make sense that I'd be known as like an artist, that like I'd be doing stuff like this. Like I never thought, but now we're here. So like, it's really happening.
It's possible.
Everything's possible.
Yeah.
And to wrap it up, Maky, where can we find you?
On the internets, Maky Lavender on everything. Maky Lavender. So yeah.
Spotify, YouTube.
User, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, TikTok, maybe even like not MySpace though. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm on there. I'm outside. Yeah.
And so, my name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host
KYP James.
Kevin G.
and our special guest.
Maky Lavender.
And remember,
The KYP.
Kill your pride, baby.
Jelly. Gotta talk to Sam, it's only private on my telly. I just get it done, I drippy sauce, that be my metric. Y'all just do the same to be the clone, to be symmetric. 20 went to school, wanted to be a paramedic. Now I'm on the plane, I send the link and now to check it.